Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. I will never understand why people can't just own up to a mistake, apologize, and move on. I do see some posts where people do that, but they seem to be the minority. Glad it wasn't a big scene and you were able to continue your shopping. Also, you're super nice to still be willing to check the book section even though you knew you were a customer too. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. I'm not just being nice to a Karen, and she wants to see my manager. This happened a few weeks after Christmas. I was at the grocery store picking up a few supplies my wife had forgotten to get when we did groceries. This grocery store also carries clothes, books, and toys. My aunt works at this store, and since it's the closest to my house, I'm there every week, so I know a few employees that I see regularly, and when I passed them, I said hello to them, asked how their day was going, etc. The uniform there is a black t-shirt or sweater embossed with the store's name written in yellow and a picture of the mascot with a bright yellow name tag. I'd stopped at the toy section to look for something for my daughter when I heard it. "Excuse me?" I turned and saw her. Karen was standing there with her hands on her hips staring at me. I thought she wanted something from where I was standing and didn't want to get too close, so I said, "Oh, sorry," and took a few steps back. She gave me a weird look and said, "There was a basket of books here last week. You know where they were moved to?" As luck would have it, I did remember seeing some books there, and had actually bought one for my daughter for Christmas. I saw a few of them on the shelf near where I was now standing. I pointed to them and said, "Here they are." I guess they moved them onto the shelf. She looked where I was pointing and said, "No, these aren't them. I'm looking for some smaller books." I said, sorry, not sure where they went. The book section's on the other side of the store. I'd try there." She looked at me and said, "Aren't you going to check for me?" I was a bit tired from working all day, so it didn't click in my head yet. I have to pick up a few things from over here first, but I guess I can have a peek on my way to the registers and let you know if I see anything. She let out a huff and said, "Doesn't anyone want to work around here nowadays? You're all so lazy." That's when I realized what was going on, so I told her, "Oh, sorry, I don't actually work here." She looked at me and said, "Yes, you do. I saw you saying hello and laughing with all those other employees." I laughed a little. "Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a regular, said hello to a few people who I know, but no, I don't work here. I don't even have a uniform on." She looked at my sweater. "I don't care if you're off duty, you still represent the store, and have to treat customers with respect. I want to speak to your manager." I smiled a little. "Ma'am, I'm my manager, at the auto parts store that I work for. If you're looking for a part for your car, I can definitely help you out, but unfortunately, that's all I can do." She seemed to be putting two and two together when an actual employee walked up. "Is everything okay here?" Karen turned to her, paused for a second, and in a super polite voice said, "Hi, yes, I was looking for the book section." The employee said, "Sure, I'll show you," and they walked away without another word. I think she was more embarrassed than anything. I got my stuff and checked out. Never saw if she actually got her books or not. I can't help but wonder, and I may be wrong, but my impression of a lot of these aggressive Karen types who are always telling other people how they should be doing their job don't seem to actually be employed anywhere. And our second story. Don't let me eat any sugar. So, a bit of backstory. My friend is pretty into his health, eating, and diet, so last week he decided he was too fat again and was looking for a new diet. Now, I like to wind him up about his diet fads and so on, but anyways, on Wednesday, he comes in to lunch with a rather delicious-looking pasta bake and a salad and proudly announces he's doing a no-sugar diet, so goodbye shop-bought food and the like. Normally, when he's on a diet, he goes on and on about it and asks me to keep him straight, and it gets pretty annoying. So as I expect, he says, "Can you help by confiscating any food I have that has sugar in it? And yes, you can eat it." I'm paraphrasing here, but he did say any sugar. Anyways, I'm fully aware he meant added sugar and so on, but I only had a ham and cheese sandwich and was fed up with his diets, so I decided to run with the idea forming in my head. So he leaves to get some water from the fountain, and I promptly confiscate his pasta bake and tuck in. Now, quick biology recap, but pasta is made from flour and other things, but flour is mainly polysaccharides, i.e., a long chain of sugars. So my friend comes back and is understandably pissed that I'm eating his lunch, even when I explain that I'm saving him from the evil polysaccharides, like he asked. Needless to say, I don't think I'll be asked to keep him on his diet again. The pasta was great, though. If you really want to lose weight, letting your coworkers eat your lunch will do the trick. And our next story. Lady, I'm carrying a baby. How do you get that I work here? So I live in Canada where I get 1 year maternity leave. So a few weeks ago, I went to meet my husband at his work where this story takes place. My husband's an assistant manager, which is a key detail to this story. I'm carrying my son in a chest carrier. This was the first time customers are allowed in the store, and I'm walking around looking at product. I'm also talking to some of my husband's staff, one of them being my child's godparent, also my godsister. I see this lady walking around with a bit of an attitude, but I choose to ignore her. After all, she's not my problem, as I don't work here. Clearly, even if I did, the fact that my child is strapped to my chest means here in Canada, I don't work here for at least 1 year. So lady's acting like she's in a mood and giving complete B-face to anyone who can see. Exchange goes like this. MP, moody patron, me, my SO, significant other, and GS, godsister, and SM, store manager. MP, excuse me, where the hell are all your annuals? Me, well, they usually are around here, but I don't know, maybe they're sold out. MP, what the hell do you mean sold out? This is a garden center, right? Me, yes, but things do sell out. If they aren't here, then I don't know what to tell you. MP, why are you guys sold out? This is ridiculous. I want to speak to your manager. Me, well, ma'am, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. They don't seem to have them where they usually are. GS comes over as she's done for the day to see me and her godchild. I turn to speak to her as she's more of a priority over MP, still in uniform but carrying all her stuff to go home with. GS, hey, how's the baby? Me, great. He's sleeping right now, but overall doing really well. How are you? GS, I'm good, just tired. It was a long day. Excited to go home and chill. Me, that's good. Do you need a ride? We can drive you home so you can spend some time with baby. GS, yeah, actually I do. That would be awesome. MP's starting to get red in the face, and I can tell she wants to say something, but she holds off. My husband comes up to me, GS, and our son to see how we're doing. At this point, MP is red in the face. SO, babe, you finding everything okay? Do you want to go into the garden pharmacy with baby? I started the fan up there for you so you can get nice and cool. Me, sure, babe, but this lady wants to speak to a manager. I point to the lady. SO, oh, okay, thanks, babe. Turns to MP and says, how can I help you? MP, are you kidding me? You helped her first over me, and she's your spouse? This is nuts. I demand to speak to a manager. SO, well, ma'am, I am a manager and was just telling my wife that I had a space for her to go sit with our baby to cool off till I'm done work. But how can I help you? I stay close nearby just to see what happens. MP, seriously, you have your spouse working here? What type of business is this? Wow, this place is a joke that you hire people like her just to create favoritism. Is this whole place run by you and your damn family? What the hell is wrong with this place? Me and GS are standing off to the side listening, and I'm feisty, so I eventually speak up. Me, well, ma'am, I never said I work here. And I was being nice to you by saying usually this is where you would find this stuff first off. Second, you see that I'm carrying my child in a carrier, considering in Canada we can take a year and a half off for maternity leave. How do you get the idea I'm working here? Even if I was working here, I would be on leave. Third, as you can see, everyone's wearing different colored uniforms with the company logo. Do you see me wearing one? No. So how do you get the idea that I work here? Use some common sense. And since I'm married to one of the managers here, clearly to not make my husband look bad, I was being polite and giving you the best answer I could when I could have easily said to you, I don't work here, so why don't you go find someone who does work here? I don't have to help out anyone, and you coming up to me and being rude despite us being in a pandemic when we should all treat people kindly shows what type of person you are. Also, please stop being rude to my husband, or unlike him, I can tell you to go shop somewhere else with your crappy attitude. But I'm going to tell you good luck elsewhere, as they too will most likely be sold out, and not give any better customer service as this place does. I turn to my GS, who's dying over there, and give her a huge high five. SO is gobsmacked, but I can tell is processing. SM shows up to say goodnight as well as to see baby for the first time. MP comes up to us and is not distancing now and recognizes SM and starts to complain about what I just said. MP, excuse me? Imagine a long, drawn-out tone. You're the store manager, correct? I want to file a complaint about this lady right here. SM, excuse what? What type of complaint? I'm so confused. What's going on here? MP explains her version in saying how I've been rude to her from the beginning of her entering the store and she's been ignored by everyone. SM knows me to be anything but rude, so he listens and then he turns to her and says, well, ma'am, I can't take a complaint about fellow customers. Also, I've had the privilege to work with this lady and she is amazing. Also, you need to back up and give us space as we're still in a pandemic and you could be exposing the baby to something. Finally, if she tried to help you the way you say she did, that's pretty nice of her since she doesn't have to. Have a good night, as the store is now closed. He walks off and MP's now screaming about how bad this place is run and favoritism is extremely big here and that she's going to social media to complain amongst other things that she finds wrong. I just died of laughter. As she was leaving, I just waved bye. So worth it. And our last story. HOA threatening to put lien on my house over unapproved fence. I'm going to try and make this as short and simple as possible. I own a home in a neighborhood with a volunteer HOA, meaning we don't pay dues. I got a permit from the city to build a fence around my front lawn, and within an hour of the builder starting construction, I had an angry member of the HOA at my door yelling at me that I had to stop because they had not approved the design. I let him know that I had already paid for the construction and had approval from the city, so I wasn't going to have them stop. He told me that I would be fined $2,000 and that they would put a lien on my house. He also let me know that all of my neighbors would hate me. Not sure why this was important. He left and construction continued. About an hour ago, I got a cease and desist letter from an attorney stating that I may be served if I didn't stop building. Construction's now complete, and it's a Friday evening and all law offices are closed. For the record, I am a younger female and the neighborhood is a majority retirees. The fence is professionally installed and matches the exterior structure of my house. I wrote back to the HOA, CCing my lawyer, laying out the facts, city permit in hand, fence matching my house, and a reminder about the limits of a volunteer HOA's power. Also suggested we all meet up and talk it out face to face. Fence to face? In the end, not only did the lien threat vanish, but some neighbors even complimented the fence, saying it spruced up the block. Plus, we agreed on clearer communication in the future to avoid these mix-ups. Turned out standing my ground with a bit of legal backup was the way to go. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.